Hello there. Just doing a little bit more on the lay Gnosis take on religions. And I'll just start by saying a fundamental thing that may surprise you, that all religions are based on yoga and meditation. That was the original seed of information that was divinely supplied to many peoples in many parts of the globe, and is repeatedly supplied, by the way. There's always people who think they know better, can add a bit of ritual to it, and gain power, control and money from believers. That's how religions begin. They are really fairy floss, air-spun version of the original teaching of yoga and meditation that would ultimately lead you literally into the arms of God. It's a living, silent partner in here that waits for you to blossom. It waits for you to meet it one day. People sense this, they feel this, so they're obedient to the people who have got this ritualized fairy floss idea. They grow up in it, they know nothing else. And rituals are very attractive to many people. They hold societies together. Holidays, pilgrimages. Annual holidays are really based on pilgrimages to Canterbury and Mecca and the like. So religions fulfill many roles. But the central thing you'll notice if you read the stories of, you read a bit of the Quran and you read the story of Jesus, for example. Jesus makes many Gnostic statements, and yet mysteriously the word Gnosis and Gnostic is eliminated, conspicuous by its absence from the New Testament. So you get the distinct impression that religion is there to prevent you reaching a state of Gnosis off your own bat. It also gives you the idea that you are likely going to achieve heaven when you die, and that's dependent on your being obedient for all of your life to the government of the day, with its religion-controlled government or government-controlled religion, depending how you look at it. So that has been a function of religion, to distract you away from the state of Gnosis, which is purely natural. Now, because Gnosis is a perennial challenge to religions, it has been hunted to extinction numerous times in its history. Early Christian times, Gnostic churches were persecuted severely, including burning at the stake, etc. In the 12th, 13th, 14th centuries, I believe, possibly hundreds of thousands of Gnostics and semi-Gnostics were slaughtered by the Vatican because they kept insisting that you don't need government-controlled, authorised assistance and book reading to get into a state of Gnosis. It can be done with prayers and meditation, mantras and stuff like that. So they were exterminated. Very sad fact. And there's a long history of that by organised religions. You find the dervish people in the Islamic community and the so-called Sufi mystics, those people, they achieve Kundalini rise by a lot of energetic dancing and singing, very musical people. And so while the rest of Islam does mechanical devotions, which are largely a distraction from that Gnostic attaining process. So Gnosis is always seen as the enemy, and because it's essentially competition with the mainstream religion. And we've got today Pope Benedict XVI saying, he's quoted as saying, and you can check this on Google, it's somewhere, the greatest enemy of the Catholic Church is the Gnostics. Now, why would he say that? Well, the answer is he's watching Oprah Winfrey and seeing Gnosis blossoming into mainstream media via Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, people like that, because they're all nudging Gnosis gently and kindly and lovingly into mainstream people there, and the Catholic Church can see themselves becoming largely irrelevant. The good thing about Gnosis is that you can exterminate all the Gnostics, but they pop up again in the next generation because it's completely natural. And that is something like a green shoot that you will see after a bushfire. They'll always keep popping up. To give you some idea of the power of religion and how much hold it's still got in this modern scientific age, where you've been told likely that you're just an intelligent animal, so you'd better be obedient, be grateful that you're even that. There's some curious events happen, and the timing and the placement of things. The emerging European Soviet state called the European Union, where a handful of chosen people decide how English people are going to put their bins out and how much they're going to be fined for putting them out early or late or mixing the garbage in the wrong cans. That's all done by unelected, faceless people. It's an exercise in obedience, a pointless exercise in obedience from the bin carrier's point of view, but very important to the people obsessed with control at the top. Now, we're going to see who's right at the top, at the peak of this, and the power behind the throne, and it goes like this. I do believe, currently, check this on Google, President of the European Union is a vacant position. It seems to be in the process of being held open for a while. Someone is being groomed for the position. But there's a problem. The holder of the position, President of the European Union, has to be a Catholic. Now, as a certain person who's been described as the most beguiling, seductive, most successful liar of the 20th century, one Tony Blair, and having been instrumental in the death of 1 million people, he is now the Minister for Peace. And he's suddenly got this urge to become an ardent Catholic, very much in the public domain. So it's likely that he's going to end up in that position. And strangely, even he is controlled by religion. Now, is that power or what? What do you think? So, what I give you is Gnosis. I didn't invent it, I just explain it and teach it. New natural law that's available to everyone on the planet. And it's a biochemical switch closure in 20 minutes which liberates you and gives you a way of finding out whether what's going on around you is worth listening to or not, and most of it isn't. But you get a special sort of truth-finding, truth-following mechanism supplied to you with physical feedback, so that you can discern your way through all this noise and disinformation and misinformation around you. And for that reason I commend it to you, because you can be a little pool of peace and quietness and quiet knowingness, while the rest of the world rages around you, fed misinformation, controlled news, controlled media, that sort of thing. So I'll just summarise here by saying that lay Gnosis is about liberating the individual, giving them full control, knowing themselves internally, completely and fully, and doing what governments, administrators and religions have tried to prevent for tens of thousands of years. Now Gnosis is all yours for free from a website, and it's going to be very difficult to stop at this time because it's physically contagious. It doesn't even need websites, though we do prosper greatly through friendship networks on the internet. It can be spread through plastic discs through the post. The entire website is available on disk for people with 56k lines. And for non-computer people, there's even a musical version of the website. So far for Anglos only. But that's how determined the great intelligence behind this is. Every contingency has been anticipated. So I ask you to tell your friends, it's an act of affection to mention this to somebody else, flick them an email, little phone call, show them the hand trick, stuff like that. And I think we can make a better world from the bottom up. That is the goal. And I think we can even get better quality government by lay Gnosis also. And I will leave you there.